Okay, so this is my DIY portable power station. It's got a 100 amp hour Rododo LifeP04 battery. And this case I got at Canadian Tire. It comes pre-wired with some stuff. It's intended to be for a boat's trolling motor. I don't have a boat, so I'm using it for my power station. You can see there it's got the external terminals there if you need to hook it up to like a power inverter or something. And it's got a 15 amp breaker on top there, and it's got your classic cigarette ports, and here it's got just 2 USB ports. On top it also came with, there's just a very basic voltmeter here, so I swapped it out with this USB port thing that's got the power delivery and the quick charge port. And if you hit the breaker switch, you can turn that on and off. And to monitor where the battery is at, I got this QWork battery shunt. This is about as simple as it gets as far as I've seen for the different kinds you can buy on Amazon. This will be sold under different names around the similar price point. They all do the same thing. I just went with this one because it was the cheapest. But as you can see there, so that's displaying how many amp hours are remaining in the battery. You can also see the voltage, if it responds. There you go. You can see the voltage, which is close enough to what that one says. And you can see how much you're drawing from the battery. So that number there is because this breaker is on and it's displaying or giving power to the ports over here. But if I turn that off, you can see it's gone down already to almost nothing. And that's just for this basic LCD display. And you can see the percentage, 92.9. So that's pretty much it for the outside. It's not waterproof or as water resistant as it used to be, because to get this in there, the closest hole saw I had was a little bit too big, as you can see there. And I mean, I don't think I'd leave this out in the rain anyway, because I doubt the rest of this is waterproof. So that's about it for the outside. I'll just open up the case and I'll show you how some of this is wired. Okay, so as you can see on the left there, those are all the USB ports, and that was all pre-wired, which was nice, saved a lot of time. It's not that I can't do that kind of 12-volt wiring, it's just kind of finicky sometimes with smaller gauge wire. And so you can see the larger gauge wire. I think this is 8 gauge wire. Yeah, and was it 6? That's 8 gauge. 8 gauge wire that goes from the battery to the top of the case here to the lid. And that made it, pretty simple. It fit around these posts. The posts have these little caps on them, and then you can see it's just a very basic bolt that goes in there. And as far as the shunt goes, this is it. That's all you get with it. And it comes with these connectors, which is nice. But basically you run the negative, you make a little jumper cable here. You go from the negative post to the one side of the shunt here. And then you run this little positive wire into the middle of the shunt. That goes to your positive post. And then anything else that is going to be getting power from the battery, you can run the negatives for that through the other side of the shunt. And that's what I've done here. And that's what's giving me my readings for how much power is being taken out of the battery when I plug stuff into the USB ports or the cigarette lighter ports. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the inside. I'll link a video, or I'll put a link in the description for the video I used to help me wire up the shunt. The guy who made the video, very straightforward. He does use a fancier Victron shunt, but it's the same process and very simple to follow. But the last thing I wanted to talk about here is if this is even worth doing, because this altogether cost me around 530 or so Canadian dollars. And now with, the Prime days, I believe, just ended. last night. There were so many deals on the newer power stations, like Anchor makes some where you're getting about 80 amp hours, and it's, the whole thing's ready to go. You got AC power ports, you got all the USB ports, it's got an app to control it or to monitor it, I guess. There's all the Jackery units, there's the Blue Eddy stuff. There's so many to choose from now, and is it actually worth doing this anymore? I think maybe if you're in the States and you can get all the stuff on sale, all the components, probably worth doing if you really want to get up to 100 amp hours of power. Otherwise, if you're in Canada or elsewhere where you're paying more for every component essentially, and things are less likely to be on sale, it might not be worth it anymore, honestly. I kind of enjoy this stuff, so that was part of it for me. And even just a few months ago when I started putting this together, those sales and those Anchor products weren't available as far as I can remember. So yeah, I'll use this until the battery is kind of at the end of its life, which will probably be quite a while from now. And then who knows, I might not put another one together. It might just be worth it to buy a pre-made Anchor unit. So let me know what you guys think, if you would put your own together or if you would just buy one that's ready to go. And yeah, thanks for watching.